What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and we don't have a lot of games tonight. We have a few college and we have 5 NBA, so nothing crazy. I'm going to go into them, and I wanted to because tomorrow we have no less than 10, probably 12 college plays, maybe even 15. Like I said, Saturday just every team plays, so many teams that fit our metrics are going to play tomorrow. So today it's a lighter day, but these are all leg ones, by the way, so it's going to be for one unit. Here, I like the Bucks. I think people are going to simply think 8.5 is a little heavy. And I understand Halliburton's out, so that could be a reason. But even still, I think a lot of people in this particular game, Pacers at home, 8.5 points. I just think people are going to be taking that. They've looked decent this year. They've covered spreads at a pretty good record, which we'll look at that kind of stuff. So I do like the Bucks to cover. Usually with the larger spreads, I like the away team, just because a lot of people, I think, they're going to take the Pacers. They're going to tease them. And I'm not saying the public's going to be all over the Pacers. It might be about even. But I just like the Bucks in this game. I also think they have to establish them as a really good team. Give them a nice blowout. They just gave last night they had a couple of blowouts, so I think the Bucks get one tonight. This one I think will be closer, but on this one I do like the Grizzlies to cover. I think that the Grizzlies cover because I have the Wolves as about an 8 seed. Right now they're a 9 seed, and they're a game or two out. But either way, this is basically where I have them, as like a play-in or maybe an 8 seed. I don't think they're going to make a run, but they're definitely making the playoffs. They have too many good players, but they don't need... And that means they have draws. I don't mean it's because they're good. But when you have 4 draws, it helps. So I think they get in the playoffs. But this game, I like the Grizzlies. I think people might take again, it's probably another 50-50 one. But I think they need to establish the Grizzlies. You see they're third in the West now. I think they need to establish them and the Nuggets as the top 2 teams, so people actually believe they have a chance to win. Because otherwise, I don't think anyone thinks they have a chance to win. In this game, I absolutely love the Heat. Just because of the metric. So again, all these games, wait till about 6:30, get as close to the closing spread as you can, and if you can, get a half point better. You don't have to, but at least get the ESPN matching spread, especially on this game, because I'm going with the metrics here. The Heat against the spread are pretty damn bad, and that typically does not hold over a season. So this one, I like the Heat, and I would just wait a little closer to the closing spread. This one right here, not much is going to change. Love the Thunder. I don't see an explanation for them being, you got Love out, but there's no explanation for them being a favorite here. Now, the Thunder are another team. I have them like the Blazers, the Wizards, the Wolves. I think they're going to sneak into the playoffs, and I have them as my 10 seed, actually. So I did a video on all the NBA teams and who I think is going to make the playoffs, what seed, and I even did all of the brackets, who's going to play each other, who's going to win, who's going to advance. So I have that video out if you want to watch it. It's titled something like NBA Final Prediction, who's going to win. But yeah, in this one, I do like the Thunder to cover. I think they need to stay in the pack, right around that 500, and the Cavaliers don't need this win. And this one, I'm pretty positive public will be all over the Cavaliers. This one, we got the Warriors at home. And it's funny because a lot of times these seem like traps. You take the Raptors and the Warriors just win by like 40. But in this case, I like the Raptors. I just think that the Warriors at home, too many people are going to be on them. And I'm hearing theories, and I believe them, that basically the Raptors are going to rebuild and they're basically giving up. But the NBA still wants to keep it interesting. Otherwise, they'd be down there with the Rockets right now. So I do believe that they're going to be right around, as you can see, they're 12th. In the NBA, that's like, 2 games out of being in the playoffs. So, they're going to, in my opinion, they're not going to make it. But I think they're going to be in it until the end, or at least close to it. So, those are my 5 picks. Again, they are all leg ones, meaning they're all for 1 unit. So, they're new sequences. You don't add them. You're just doing them as their own 1 unit. So each one wins 1 unit. Now there's 2 other games. Now these ones are not 1 unit. One of them is Buffalo to cover Kent State. I like that simply because of the metric, okay? So I know this might be a little boring for the people that have seen it already, but new people, I understand you might wonder what I mean. It's a good metric, so I'm going to explain this. But what I mean by it's a good metric is if you look at Kent State, they're 13-5 on the over, okay? And that might sound like it's, dandy. But the problem is, if you look at the team against the spread, where is it? Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. I have it right here. So if you look at the against the spread, Kent State right now sitting at, and it's not a crazy record, 72.5. That's around historical norms. You can see 76 was the best, and 70 the year before. 77, 76. That's what these teams are finishing with, okay? 75, 74. So that's the absolute highest that these best teams are finishing with, 76, 72. So my point is, at 75, 72 right now, in the mid to even the low 70s, it's a good metric because they win a couple more now they're in the 80s. That's why I've been fading Florida Atlantic. It doesn't always work, but we've hit way more like threes fading them than taking them. So Kent State, that's the reason I'm taking Buffalo to cover them. It's as simple as that. And like I said, I would always wait for the ESPN closing spread. If the game starts at 9, it might move to 11 points. Yes, it might move down. We never know. But the ESPN closing spread is the one they go by when they use these team rankings. So I like to fade teams that are above 70% basically against the spread, or teams that are around 75. So in this case, I'm fading Kent State. We're taking Buffalo to cover. And the other college game, there's only one more. Like I said, it's Youngstown State, and it's Oakland. And I like that one to go under. And that's for 2 units as well. So both of these college plays are going to be 2 units. That one's for a San Diego loss last night. They didn't go under. It went over by 1 point. We needed 164, and 165 was scored. But that's all right. We have it go our way too, so we're not going to complain. And then for the Rockets not covering, we're going to go Buffalo to cover Kent as a leg 2. So both are for 4 units. I'm sorry, for 2 units. Leg 2 units. And again, I wait for the closing spread. It's at 150.5 now. Again, it could move either way, but I just want to match it up perfectly. So you could see Youngstown's also good against the spread. So if they cover, say, another game or 2, then we can start fading them on the spread. That's basically how my metric works. So that's really all of them. I plan to have a video out later. It's a very in-depth one that I think you guys will enjoy. It goes into a lot of different interesting narrative numbers and just assessments that I've noticed just in the last couple days that I've kind of put together now. I have a notepad full of it's regarding the Super Bowl, but it's intertwined with a lot of other things. So yeah, like I said, these are all of our picks. It's only 7, but I think we do well with college. The NBA, hopefully we do well. I think we do. Over the last 4 or 5 days, we've been on a great run. And over the season, we've been doing good with the NBA. A couple bad stretches, but overall, I think we're over the target. So just to recap, I like Bucks cover, Grizzlies cover, Heat cover, Thunder cover, Raptors cover. All leg 1s, and just wait for the closing spread on all of the games. Youngstown, I like them to go under, and I like Buffalo to cover Kent State. Both are leg 2s for 2 units. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.